Welcome, everyone, to this deep dive into The Lightning Thief.
Okay.
The first book, of course, you know, in Rick Riordan's series, Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
And we're going to explore this world where Greek mythology, collides with all of the trials and tribulations of being a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
For sure.
What initially drew me in was how Riordan blends those like typical school day struggles with these encounters with these mythical beings.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a potent combination for sure. I'm particularly interested in analyzing how Riordan constructs this intricate world where these ancient myths seamlessly intersect with the modern day settings.
Yeah.
And of course, Percy Jackson himself undergoes quite the transformation as he grapples with his extraordinary destiny.
Yeah, let's start with Percy.
Okay.
He seems like a pretty average kid at first glance.
Right.
He's been kicked out of multiple schools, struggles with dyslexia and ADHD. Basically, he feels like he doesn't fit in anywhere. That's what makes him so relatable, especially for younger readers. He's not some flawless hero right out of the gate. Riordan gives him real human struggles. Then there's that scene with his best friend Grover getting bombarded by peanut butter sandwiches from Dancy Bobo Fit, the resident bully.
Right. That scene always makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
It's funny, but I think it highlights a deeper insecurity in Percy. He feels compelled to protect those he perceives as weaker, to overcompensate for his own feelings of inadequacy.
Interesting take. It definitely foreshadows his protective instincts, which become crucial when the supernatural elements start to emerge. Remember his pre-algebra teacher, Mrs. Dodd?
Oh, absolutely. It's a total shock when she transforms into this terrifying fury. It's so jarring.
Right.
One minute she's scolding Percy, and the next she's this monstrous creature. It's our first real glimpse into this hidden world.
Of demigods.
Riordan cleverly mirrors Percy's challenges with those of classical heroes. His dyslexia, for example, becomes a strength when deciphering ancient Greek, connecting him to his heritage in an unexpected way.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if Riordan is suggesting that what we perceive as weaknesses can actually be strengths in disguise.
Interesting.
It's definitely a recurring theme throughout the series. Percy's ADHD, often seen as a hindrance in the mortal world, actually makes him hyper-aware and quick to react in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
But tell me, what are your thoughts on Camp Half-Blood as a setting?
Well, Camp Half-Blood is more than just a training ground. For demigods, it's this safe haven, tucked away from the prying eyes of the mortal world. I see it as a microcosm of the Olympian world itself, with each cabin representing a different god and their offspring.
Yeah, I love the way Riordan describes each cabin with its unique characteristics and how the campers' personalities reflect their godly parents' traits. It's like a crash course in Greek mythology, but in a way that feels engaging and fun.
For sure.
What stood out to you about
the different cabins?
Cabin 11. For the undetermined demigods.
Okay.
It's particularly interesting. It's this ramshackle structure compared to the grandeur of some of the other cabins, mirroring Percy's uncertainty about his own parentage, with a great visual representation of his journey of self-discovery.
I agree. The real drama starts when Zeus's master bolt gets stolen, right?
The theft of the master bolt isn't just about a missing weapon. It represents a breakdown of order, a threat to the very structure of the Olympian world.
This raises the stakes for Percy, forcing him to confront not just monsters, but the potential collapse
of divine authority.
Right. It's a classic quest narrative. Percy sets out to clear his name
and prevent an all-out war among the gods, which brings us to his first encounter with the Oracle of Delphi. Do you think Riordan drew inspiration from the actual oracle?
Oh, absolutely.
Like Delphi in ancient Greece.
Absolutely. The Oracle of Delphi was revered in ancient Greece, and her prophecies were often cryptic and open to interpretation, just like the prophecy Percy receives. It adds a layer of mystery and foreshadowing to the story.
The prophecy itself is pretty ominous. warning Percy about a betrayal and the weight of a difficult choice he'll have to make.
Yeah.
It sets the tone for this epic journey he's about to embark on.
The journey is filled with all sorts of perilous encounters, from battling the Minotaur to navigating the treacherous sea of monsters. Percy faces a constant barrage of challenges that test his courage, his loyalty,
and his resourcefulness.
The scene with the water spirit in the Mississippi River always stands out to me. It's more than just a thrilling action sequence.
It's a symbolic moment where Percy discovers his connection to his father, Poseidon, his innate ability to control water.
It's also a turning point. In his emotional journey up until that point, he's resented his absent father, but in that moment of near death, he taps into a power he never knew he had. A power that directly links him to Poseidon. It's a powerful metaphor for how we often discover our true strength in the face of adversity.
And then there's his encounter with Ares,
right,
the god of war, who is
far from
what you'd expect.
Oh,
he's manipulative, playing on Percy's anger and frustration, tempting him with power. I found him to be one of the most psychologically charged encounters in the book.
His encounter with Ares is fascinating. It's not just about a fight.
I was thinking
psychological battle, do you think?
Riordan is suggesting that all demigods are susceptible to their godly parents' influence. Or is Percy particularly vulnerable because of his lack of connection with Poseidon? It's an intriguing question. On one hand, Percy is impulsive, easily angered, which aligns with Ares' domain.
Right.
It's also a reminder that all demigods, no matter how powerful, are still teenagers, grappling with these complex emotions.
Right, they're susceptible to manipulation, especially when those insecurities are preyed upon. And speaking of complex emotions, Percy's relationship with his mother, Sally Jackson, is incredibly powerful. She's the epitome of resilience, enduring years of hardship with Gabe Ugliano. Smelly Gabe.
Yeah, Smelly Gabe. Just to protect Percy, Sally's a fascinating character. She's forced to make impossible choices. Staying with Gabe, as awful as he is, was a calculated decision. She believed his presence masked Percy's scent, making him less detectable to monsters.
It's heartbreaking, the lengths she goes to protect her son, but then there's that gut-wrenching scene where she sacrifices herself to the Minotaur, giving Percy a chance to escape.
It's a testament to the depth of a mother's love, and it makes the reunion at the end
all the more poignant. What did you think about how Riordan portrayed their reunion?
Was it what you expected? I found it bittersweet, you know? Percy accomplishes this incredible feat, escaping the underworld, only to find his mother still trapped in this different kind of hell. With Gabe, it's a reminder that even when heroes achieve great things, real life doesn't always have neat resolutions.
No, it does not. And yet, Percy finds a way to use his newfound powers to help his mom. Turning Gabe into a statue using Medusa's head is a brilliant move. It's both darkly humorous and symbolic of Percy taking control, using his demigod abilities to protect those he loves.
It's a turning point for both of them. Sally finally
embraces
her own strength and decides to pursue her dreams.
Mirroring Percy's journey of self-discovery.
Well, while Sally plays a crucial role, Percy also relies heavily on his friends throughout this journey, Grover and Annabeth.
They're such compelling characters in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. Each brings a unique dynamic to the group. Grover, the lovable satyr, acts as Percy's protector in the mortal world. He's fiercely loyal, even if he faints at the first sign of danger. But he's not just. Comic relief.
Oh, no.
His
empathy,
connection to nature, add depth to his character.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's Annabeth, daughter of Athena, the ultimate strategist, planner. She's always 10 steps ahead. I love how Riordan contrasts her with Grover. It creates this engaging balance within the group dynamic.
I agree. Their contrasting personalities make them a formidable team. Grover's empathy balances Annabeth's logic.
And their combined strengths help Percy navigate this treacherous world of demigods and monsters.
Even with their help, Percy faces some terrifying creatures.
What were some of the encounters that stood out to you? That scene on the bus with the Furies?
Oh, yeah.
That one really creeped me out. It highlights the constant threat demigods face, even in seemingly ordinary situation. It's a reminder that this hidden world is always lurking beneath the surface. It's a brilliant way to build suspense.
Right.
You never know when or where danger might strike. And then there's Bacchus, the variety of monsters, each drawing from classical mythology, the Minotaur guarding, the entrance to Camp Half-Blood, Medusa Inn, the Garden Gnome Emporium. Each encounter is both terrifying and imaginative.
Don't forget about the chilling encounter with
the Oracle of Delphi.
Right. Her cryptic pronouncements add to the suspense and foreshadow the challenges ahead.
Right. Especially that warning about not trusting gifts.
Oh, yeah. That line always gives me chills. It's a clear foreshadowing of the betrayal Percy will experience, adding another layer of complexity to his journey. And speaking of betrayals.
Yeah, let's talk about the role of the gods themselves. They're not exactly the benevolent, all-powerful beings we might expect. It's true, they're flawed, often more concerned with their own squabbles than the well-being of their demigod children. Percy's resentment towards his absent father, Poseidon, is a recurring theme.
That resentment stems from a sense of abandonment, a feeling shared by many demigods. It highlights a critical point Riordan makes, that even in a world of gods and monsters, family relationships are complicated and often fraught with challenges, but it's those very challenges that shape who we become.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's through those trials that Percy discovers his own strength and resilience. And speaking of strength, his powers are directly linked to Poseidon. He controls water, communicates with sea creatures, and even withstands incredible underwater pressure. It's fascinating how Riordan ties Percy's abilities to his heritage. That scene in the Mississippi River where he battles a giant catfish and discovers he can breathe underwater. It's both a thrilling action sequence and a symbolic moment of connection with his father.
Right. And let's not forget the gift from Poseidon.
Oh, right.
The sword Riptide. It becomes more than just a weapon. It's a symbol of Percy's lineage, a reminder of his destiny, the quest itself, to retrieve Zeus's stolen master bolt. Takes Percy and his friends on this incredible cross-country journey. They face a hydra in the arch, ride a runaway train, and even gamble with Charon, the ferryman of the Underworld. The Lotus Casino is another memorable encounter.
Oh, yeah. It's this seemingly harmless place, full of fun and games, but it's a trap.
Right. Time stands still, and anyone who stays there risks being lost forever. What did you make of that experience?
I think it's a clever metaphor for the distractions and temptations that can derail us from our goals.
Right. It's a reminder that even in a world of mythical creatures and epic quests, the real battle can sometimes be against our own desires.
And the allure of
easy pleasures.
Yeah, they barely escape, thanks to Annabeth's quick thinking. And then they reach the Underworld. Right. A vast and terrifying realm ruled by Hades, Riordan's depiction of. The Underworld is both imaginative and true to the myths we see glimpses of. The fields of asphodel, where souls wander aimlessly, and the fields of punishment, where the wicked endure eternal torment.
It's a stark reminder of the consequences of choices, both in life and in the afterlife. And then there's Hades himself. He's imposing, intimidating, and understandably upset about the missing master bolt.
Right.
A tense encounter where Percy must convince Hades of his innocence while navigating the horrors of this terrifying realm. What are your thoughts on their interactions?
I found it to be one of the most pivotal scenes in the book. Percy, despite being terrified, stands his ground. He pleads his case with a mix of defiance and desperation, which I think catches Hades off guard. It shows Percy's growing confidence and his willingness to face down even the most powerful of the gods.
And just when he seems to have cleared his name and retrieved the master bolt, there's that
shocking twist. It was Luke.
All along, the betrayal hits hard, especially because Luke was someone Percy trusted, someone he looked up to.
Luke's betrayal is a gut punch. Raises the stakes even higher, forcing Percy to confront the fact that even those closest to you can deceive and manipulate, but it also adds a layer of complexity to Luke's character.
It's true. Riordan doesn't make Luke a one-dimensional villain. He's driven by a sense of abandonment, a feeling that the gods have failed him, and countless other demigods. His anger and resentment are understandable, even relatable, which makes his betrayal even more tragic.
Pain is real, but his methods are destructive. He becomes a pawn. For Kronos, the Titan Lord, who seeks to overthrow the Olympians and plunge the world into chaos, it sets the stage for an epic battle, a clash between order and chaos that will have far-reaching consequences.
That's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about monsters and quests.
Right.
It's about the choices we make, the consequences of our actions.
And the complexities of
what?
Loyalty, betrayal, and the very nature of good and evil.
Yeah, makes you wonder if there's a bit of Luke in all of us.
Oh.
You know, that potential for darkness, for resentment, when we feel abandoned or betrayed by those we trust.
Absolutely. It's a question that resonates, especially when you consider the recurring theme of mentorship in the series. Many demigods, like Luke, feel neglected by their godly parents, left to navigate this dangerous world without guidance or support.
That's where Camp Half-Blood comes in.
Yeah.
It's more than just a training ground. It's a place where demigods can find acceptance.
Yeah.
A sense of belonging they might not find anywhere else.
It's vital, that sense of community. It provides a network of mentors and friends who can help these young demigods understand their powers and their place in this larger mythological world.
But even within this safe haven, there's conflict we see, rivalries between the cabins, clashes of personalities, and power struggles. It kind of mirrors the dynamics we see among the Olympian gods themselves.
The jealousies, the betrayals, the constant vying for power.
Exactly. It reminds us that even in this world of mythical beings, human nature, with all its flaws and complexities, plays a significant role. That's one of the things I admire most about Riordan's writing. He takes these ancient myths, these larger-than-life characters, and grounds them in a contemporary setting, making them feel relatable to modern readers.
He gives us gods with human weaknesses, heroes with everyday struggles, and monsters that embody our deepest fears. It's a captivating blend of mythology and realism that resonates across
generations.
So the Lightning Thief is just the beginning. It sets the stage for this epic journey filled with adventure, unexpected twists, and characters who become like family. As we wrap up our deep dive, what do you think is the most crucial lesson Percy learns in this first book?
I think it's the realization that heroism isn't just about strength and power. It's about the choices you make, the sacrifices you're willing to endure, and the unwavering belief and hope, even in the darkest of times.
Absolutely. It's a powerful message. Percy, despite his doubts and fears, chooses to fight for what he believes in, to protect those he loves.
And in doing so, he discovers his own strength and resilience.
And that discovery is just the beginning. As Percy delves deeper into the world of demigods and monsters, he'll learn that the prophecy hanging over him is far more complex, far more dangerous than he initially imagined.
Your journey is far from over. The fate of the gods, the balance between order and chaos, rests on his shoulders.
And the choices he makes will determine not only his destiny, but the future of the world.
So,
to our listener, I encourage you to pick up The Lightning Thief and embark on this extraordinary adventure. Alongside Percy Jackson, you'll encounter gods and monsters, face thrilling challenges, and discover that even in a world of ancient myths, the power of choice, the bonds of friendship, and the courage to face your destiny can make all the difference.
And remember, this is just the beginning. Percy's journey continues, and the stakes get even higher. We'll be back to explore more of his adventures in future deep dives. Until then, happy reading.